Hey everybody, Asher here, back with some more Hearthstone. After playing some off camera yesterday, you might be surprised to know, and hopefully it'll load up here in just a second, but you'll be surprised to know that I ended up kind of right back where I started in terms of this. I've been playing quite a bit. I've made it about as far as I made it on stream here before, which is rank 4. I've dropped down to rank 6. I've gone back and forth. I've been trying to make it work with Tempo Warrior. So we're going to be doing a few things a little bit different today. First off, we're just going to be playing games. If we decide to stick with this deck, we can. If we don't, we don't. We're not going to be keeping score up on this area today. I know some viewers do find that helpful, but if you want to know, just look at the stars. I mean, we're not on win streaks or losing streaks anymore. And the big thing is just... I know that the name of this series is trying to get that stupid card back, but sometimes, I mean, let's put it this way. If we just focus more on playing the games, we'll see kind of what comes of it. If we win, great. If we don't, we don't. If we change decks, we change decks. But I'm not going to try and move off too much. Now, a few things that I did get from the off-camera play. I did try out some Dragon Tempo. It worked out pretty well. It worked out pretty nicely, except I was dropping matches to Zulok and Shaman, which means it's kind of ironic. I think part of it is that I was just playing the matchups incorrectly. But yeah, of all the classes I want to face with this deck, with this Tempo Warrior, it's Shaman and it is other things here. So let's see. We could keep the Ravaging Ghoul, we could keep the Slam, we could keep the Arathi Weaponsmith, but we really want the Fiery War Axe. So we'll see what we can get here. We got an Axe, that's good. We got an Execute and a Blood to Ichor, that's good if he is playing the Flame Wreath Faceless. But I think another thing that I've kind of gotten away from a little bit, and it's helpful when I'm playing just off camera because it's an automatic calculus I go through my mind, is there's a difference between taking your time with your turns and just thinking about, well, what are you going to do here? It's important to also think about not just what cards the opponent has in their hand, but also what their potential plays might be, what they've played before, which is one reason that I do try and use a deck tracker, although you can't necessarily see it here. Once again, it's a little unfortunate that anytime I try and broadcast with just the full screen, a full screen capture on top of everything else, things go to crap. Plus, it's just a matter of, if I can just do the game window capture, that's typically good enough. So, Totemic, and does he get the Taunt Totem? No, he gets a this thing totem. Well, we will we'll eat the 5 damage and just develop a board, because this is this card contests so much versus these guys. And then I have Bloodhoof Brave, who's also very good. Okay, using Stormcrack. Now this is interesting. I've been seeing this kind of list. I actually encountered it yesterday as well. I've been seeing this kind of list running a lot. More Stormcrack tech that's going in there, but more specifically, more Control Shamans. And I don't know if there's like some streamer that was playing Control Shaman, but Stormcrack is definitely a tip there. Whether it's tech, I can't think of too many reasons you'd be teching that in, but let's see here. I think it's probably better to go for the Slam Fierce Monkey. So he has played Stormcrack. We're now, assuming this is Control Shaman, we're going to need to save for a Earth Elemental, which they typically don't want to drop on 5, but I have a feeling that first card that was kept was an Earth Elemental, so it's probably better if we draw here just to see what we get. Fierce Monkey number 2, that's fine. Just go ahead and activate this. I mean, 3 health's not the best, but it's better than using the Execute prematurely. So we have Tempo under control. That's where the early weapon really helps. Now the thing is that if this is Control Shaman, we've got to be very mindful that we need to finish the game. So if we get other weapons, we can do it that way. If we get other things, like I said, Control Shaman is another one of those matchups that I just don't know very well. And that's where, even if I'm not winning very much or not winning as much as I'd like, still playing at this ranking is very nice. So he is actually passing. Yeah, we are definitely facing Control Shaman. I'm just going to go ahead and develop the board. We already have a decent battle rage here, so we are going to have to look out for, and I don't know, maybe playing this Fierce Monkey is the wrong play, because I have a feeling that Elemental Destruction is coming, and maybe I should hold back, but on the other hand, in a super control matchup like this, you want to put as much pressure as you can. So there is a Earth Elemental, not Earth Elemental, Fire Elemental. The first question is, can we kill it? The second question is, do we kill it? I mean, I don't really want to use my Execute for it. If we push for damage, we can be in fairly good shape with Grom. I'd have to use 2 Grom activators, which is something I don't particularly like doing here. If I'm playing into the hands of Elemental Destruction again, but if he plays that, this dies too. He hasn't summoned a ton of totems.
I have an axe to grind.
I still think this might be best, though. We're going to Whirlwind first, just so I can... We have this activated, which is a good combo. We have an up trade here. We spin a few cards to get it. We still have Grom and an Execute if it comes down to it. We just don't want to get board cleared. And right now we do have 10 damage on the board. So one of those things of, if we do get board cleared, so be it. I mean, you gotta play your hand at some point. So second Fire Elemental. That's not awful. I would just strongly prefer to push for face damage here. I really don't like the Armor Smith pickup. Let's see, if he is playing Control Shaman like I think he is, one of the things that could come up is, first off, if I play Gormesh, I can't slam him into there. I wonder somewhat if just dropping him would be better, but right now we don't really have much of a play. I'm just going to push face.
Start running.
If I keep going into trade mode, we're going to have problems. Like I said, unfortunately, Blood to Ichor is my only other reliable Grom activator. So it's here, Ancestral Knowledge. Probably going to be followed up by a... Thorician would be not wonderful here, but not awful. I'm still kind of hoping for that Earth Elemental drop. So Tunnel Trog, do we have a... do we have an Earth Elemental? We have Feral Spirits. Not my favorite. And what's to top it all off? Flame Tongue. Well, Karen's okay here. I mean, I can clear one of these spirits. Dropping Karen's at least going to hold on to the board a little bit. I think we're going to need to burst down Grom. It's too bad he had this, so that'll be a second one there. Execute seems tempting. Right now I do have some life total to play with. Pretty much what I've got to do is find something. Varian wouldn't even be a terrible top deck here at this stage of the game. I just like something along the lines of a weapon, whether it's Malcrook or Arathi. Because we have him down on life. He's got a huge card advantage. Unfortunately, if he drops something behind this taunt, we can't reliably execute it. So there's the Sentinel. Alright. If he hexes Karen, that's actually going to be really good for him. There's that. There we go. And Ancestral Spirit. Now that is pretty rough. We got 2 executes, which is good news in a way. Like, that second execute is okay. This Tunnel Trog is really a big issue, though. So I don't know if we have any outs right now. But yeah, it's nice to see that Crusher Shaman is alive and well. Like, this is when I beat this deck yesterday, it was literally off of a BS. I had the exact cards that I needed in my hand to win, which would be, or I had 2 Frothing Berserkers on the board. I had a Whirlwind and an Execute in hand. He dropped an Earth Elemental, and I got a Ravaging Ghoul. So I was able to Math Warrior him, so there we go. I am actually dead. And that's why we're not keeping track and score today, and that's where, once again, Tempo Warrior may not be the thing that I need to take on this kind of metagame. Like I said, I'm not sure who's bringing back Crusher Shaman, but of the Shamans I've faced, that is the second out of the past 3. So new quest, let's ditch that. Apparently really wants us to play Rogue. Maybe Rogue will be in the cards today. Like I said, no score tracker here today. I've gone literally 50-50 the past week and a half. You don't need to know more than that. Was there something I could have done different? Yeah, possibly, but when I couldn't push face damage as much as I would have liked there. Like that Fire Elemental, he traded it anyway. So let's see. Like aggro shamans and stuff, that's what I want to face. Armor Smith's okay here. I don't love it, but I'll hold on to it because it does contest Living Roots if he does do that. So this is good. This is a good opening curve. Weapon is not as important versus Druid. Even Cthulhu Druid, it's not as important. It's still good. He mulliganed everything, so I don't think it's Cthulhu Druid. Then again, a lot of them want ramp anyway. And I've been seeing a few different styles of Druid here, and I've at least come to the conclusion, the more I've played, that Druid's kind of an unfavored matchup, and when I climbed earlier this season, I was pretty fortunate to dodge this. Now, is he going to attack my face? Yes, so we do have Battle Rage activated regardless of what I do here. Alright, so 2 Korkrons is good. Like, maybe if I had drawn into a few more mid-rangey minions instead of some threats in that last game, would have been fine. But at the end of the day, he got his taunts up. So using a Feral Rage to take out the Armor Smith. I'll accept a 3-mana card to take out a 2-mana card. Because that's not giving him more life.
Speak to me.
Alright.
Pay attention, class.
So there's my least favorite teacher. And he didn't actually do anything with her. Now, I'm not huge on trading 2 cards into it. I'd have to draw into a Whirlwind effect. Is playing passive a little more passively here the right move is the question. I mean, I do have a Korkron in hand. I can get 2 cards with the Battle Rage. Or I can just put something else on the board. I mean, Korkrons are prime swipe targets anyway. Let's see what the stream... Is it acting up? Not really. So as much as I'm not a huge fan of using a Korkron there, it's better to do that than to ping my own guy. So there's the second one. Hello, hello. So we got both of those right away. That's the top deck. Unfortunately, I can't Battle Rage here. Well, I can Battle Rage for 1, but I'm not going to. Karen's a good drop the next turn. Trying to remember, I think Karen survives Mulch. I've been seeing a few people play Mulch again. So that's interesting. So Harrison. Cool. Bound to happen sometime. So, now that he's Harrison my weapon, there's 2 lines of play here. We could Korkron, and that would do, that would pretty much leave us to armor up. We could leave up Harrison, drop Cairn, and contest the board a little bit more strongly. The downside is that we could potentially get a bigger drop, especially on 7 mana. He didn't hit any ramp, so either he had very poor draws, either he's drawn a few cards here like Wild Growth. He hasn't innervated anything out yet. I think it's probably stronger to drop Cairn. and leave myself on a naked board. So if I only get one thing out of this, I'll accept that. So he missed his ramp. He still may have a big body to drop. We don't have an execute for it. Alright. Draw something good. Fiery War Axe is good. That's not so good. What is he going to do with the spell power? Okay. Swipe. Alright. Well, at least this still means we get the Battle Rage next turn. So best play is probably going to be Fiery War Axe Battle Rage. And see what we get. I hope we get something that we can use the rest of this mana on. Okay, Execute's good there. Fierce Monkey is like the top deck of top decks right now. Yes, this is vulnerable to swipe. And he hasn't played a lot of like early spells, so either he had a garbage draw, which I don't think is the case, or it's a Malagos Druid, which in that case you can't really play around it. There's probably still a Yogg in hand somewhere. Okay. 2 Feral Rage is gone. So this could still be Jackie Chan's list. Wow, using Living Roots instead of Wrath to cycle, that gives me some more information there. Okay, if I don't Rag here, because Rag's such a big thing that he'll have to deal with. That's a decent weapon target. I do have Blood in hand. I think Rag's just a stronger play on 8 than Korkron, Armorsmith, and some other shenanigans. The super duper predictable Ragnaros play. Plus we can possibly go into something else to do with all of our charginess.
Who dares to
So Rosarius. Grom is alright here, but is Grom preferable? Well, we have Blood to Ichor as an activator.
What's
Drop you. We will want to save our activator. And we're going to trust that Ragnaros is going to know who to fire on then. I'll be back. I got a crazy dog. Don't tell me what happens!
I have no time for games.
Alright, Sylvanas is a little problematic. We could Varian. We're starting to get into trouble. I was thinking for a bit if this is Malagos Rogue, but it doesn't seem to be. He just seemed to have a more late game oriented draw. Varian could put a few more things on here to contest Sylvanas, because I'm going to assume Rag's going to hit Sylvanas. I could execute Cenarius. If I do that, that gives me a 25% chance to win. The thing is that Varian kind of stirs the pot a little bit. So let's Varian. What do we get? Looks like we got one creature, Weaponsmith, Slam. Not my favorite. All right, Rag, you're gonna hit Sylvanas. Oh, you didn't! Wow. Okay, well she can still steal something from our board. And this looks like it's setting up for a Yogg turn. Could have gotten the guaranteed rag there. Alright. Alright, I kind of want to save Gramash here. We're about to get yogged. So I'd rather not spend all my mana doing that. So slam there. Malcrook's pretty good. Let's go ahead and Whirlwind. And that's a 2/3 weapon, so that doesn't really do a lot to save us. Like, if I got a weapon that could just end the game, I could go for it, but we got a 50-50. We want face damage here, and we didn't get it. Alright, so it's Yogg time. Now we have to just hold on to our butts. Okay. So we're going to see if that bad luck of not hitting face. It's going to be easier than a card. Okay. Wow. Fan of this, it Yogg's gonna live. Oh no! The Tiny Fin lives! That still screws me over so badly. Holy cow! Okay, nobody lives. Alright, I don't like that I don't know what trap that is. Let's test. Okay. I guess we slam for the card draw.
Taste my blade.
Don't be freezing. It's not freezing. Alright. That means it's Dart or Snake Trap. So if I armor up, I could die. I think that's how Dart Trap works. Maybe Dart Trap only attacks a minion. I can't remember. So there's Fandral. Has he got a Charge Burr? No, he's got Wild Growth. Okay, that's good for me.
Where shall I?
There's a Charge Bear. Alright, can he push lethal? So Rag, who did so well before, did not do his job today. But that's alright. Got a few network hang-ups here, so hopefully things don't end up too badly or shaky. Let's see. Alright. Back where we started. The old actual treadmill, as it were.
Garrosh versus Garrosh.
Victory or death! Bring it on!
You know, I'm a little surprised. I haven't faced Control Warrior in a while, so I'm due. I did face... Oh, that's not true. I faced one yesterday that I was able to face down. really hard. But it's Pirate Warrior. Alright.
Greetings.
So we need to contest the board.
Made to fit.
Good thing I have my axe.
X marks the spot.
Alright, he's trying to deny a little bit of Battle Rage fun. That's not gonna work. Second War Axe. Good. Last time I faced Pirate Warrior, the big mistake I made was leaving pirates up on the board. Turns out that's not a good idea. Eventually he's going to have enough mana to get something along those lines, but we just need to try and keep that from happening. So there's the deckhand. He's actually not going full face. This might be someone who's playing Pirate Warrior that doesn't necessarily have a lot of practice with the deck, which I ran into that quite a bit too yesterday. I think the Frothing's better to play here since we have another weapon. But I did run into that a lot yesterday. I did have someone spectating my matches that kind of laughed about it a little bit. But I mean, it's kind of the same situation I've been too. I've been hanging on rank 5 so long, I figure if I have the skill to stay here, it doesn't really matter if I experiment with different decks. Worst case is that something good comes of it. No, the alternative would have been to drop an Acolyte of Pain. This is fine. There's Flame Juggler, so we could weapon and armor. That seems okay. He's already pretty close to having his resources expire. We don't have to rush this. What we don't want to do is leave things on the board. Like, this is a hyper aggro matchup. Last time I recorded a Pirate Warrior match that's been up on YouTube by this point, I think. There was an issue where I didn't remember how much damage Mortal Strike would do, which is 6 when you're below a certain health threshold. You know what, we're actually going to want to combo this. This does open us up to execute, but we have cards to answer, and I really need to be aggressive in clearing his board, and that way I guess it's like Zoo. Plus I have the other Arathi Weaponsmith. So this is the fun part about Tempo Warriors, that just based on certain matchups, you've just really got to figure what you doing. Okay, if you control a pirate, give your weapon +1/+1. Well, it's too bad I can't clear you straight away, but I might as well. Let's draw a card. Maybe we can do a little better here.
Hey, speak to me.
Like, I don't have a ton of resources either, but I have Vanity and at least one more potential card draw. Okay, going for face. Arcanite Reaper. Alright, so this is where the fun starts. Play a game called Can We Draw a Taunt? We drew a taunt. That's a good game.
I have an axe.
Now we do have to look out for things like dying to Leroy and everything, but this could be alright. I'm going to close some background processes just in case those are interfering with the internet for some reason. They shouldn't be. Alright. Armor Smith is good. These super aggro decks typically do not run Brawl.
Start
Bring the pain.
So we'll see what we get here. He may have something he wants to play in hand. He may have a totally reactive card. If I can draw like a Ravaging Ghoul or something, that'll be really nice. Because then I can just end it next turn and armor up like crazy. Okay, Heroic Strike. All the 2 damage. does he have another upgrade in hand? Like, I don't have a ton of damage on the board right now. Not the greatest battle rage, but good enough. Ugh, double execute's not what I like here. Alright, so he's only going to hit my face. He has 5 damage here, he has 6 damage there. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need to find a Grom activator or 2 more.
Strike. Bring the pain.
I'm at 13. That way he has to weapon into additional damage. There's upgrade. Always makes me think of Idiocracy. And there's a Grom activator.
Well played.
Making everything moot.
Taste my
And I got some armor. Isn't that fun? I guess this is where I could be playing with background music or something.